Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing my May wrap-up video. If you can hear any cheering in the background, it's 7 p.m. and it's very rowdy in the city at 7 p.m. because everybody does the clapping to thank all of the people that are working on the front line to help everybody. So that's been like a really nice thing, which I don't know if I said that in my past wrap-up, but since March, I mean, our street starts early, like 6:55. People are already banging their pots and pans and it goes until like 7:50, and it seems like it gets longer and louder each night, which is great because there are so many people that are appreciative for the people that have been working hard for us. But anyway, moving into my wrap up. So I mentioned in my June TBR video that I had the worst reading month of all time in May. Like, just awful, like truly awful reading month. But it was fine. I spent a lot of time playing Animal Crossing and I enjoyed every single minute of it. So I'm happy. I'm not like upset that I didn't read as much. First I was like, oh, maybe I'm in a reading slump, and then Alexa totally called me out and was like, I don't think you're in a reading slump. I think you're just on like an Animal Crossing high, and I agree. I think that's the case. But I'm definitely gonna be reading more in June than I did in May because my island hit 5 stars and I don't have as much work to do as I did during the month of May. So I feel like now that I've gotten there and I'm also making lots of progress on my recipes, I think I have like 100 and something left to collect. That I'm a collector, so if you haven't noticed. So that's one of my like driving things that I find most fun in the game. But obviously I won't need to hunt as hard because I'm going to, or like island hop as much because I will have a lot of the recipes that are being offered. But anyway, I'll talk more about Animal Crossing in a little bit. First, I'm going to tell you about the books that I read this month. There were so very few of them. So starting things off, I read The Legend of Korra Turf Wars, which is the graphic novel bind-up of the complete story arc of Turf Wars. So it's actually 3 graphic novels in this one beautiful library edition. Did film a recent reads video where I talked about this. It's actually going to be coming out next week, so you'll get to hear more in-depth thoughts then. But I didn't love this one as much as I love the main Avatar comics, and I think it's partially because I love the characters in the original Avatar more than I like the characters in Legend of Korra, though it was still very enjoyable and I will still continue reading the Korra comics. Then I read Undercover Bromance by Lyssa Kay Adams. This is the second book in the Bromance book club series, and this one I really enjoyed. I thought this was an excellent installment, and to all of the people who thought that the first one was like so much better, I don't get it. I really liked this one a lot. This one's a romantic suspense novel. It follows Thea's sister Liv, and she just gets fired from the job that she works at as a pastry chef because the head chef, who is kind of like a celebrity, is a person in power that's been taking advantage of women for years, and Liv is hell-bent on exposing him. She teams up with Mac, and the two of them slowly fall in love. They have a very hate-to-love relationship, and I really enjoyed the whole thing from start to finish. Then I started listening to Anne of Windy Poplars on audiobook. This is by Ellen Montgomery. It's the 4th book in the Anne of Green Gables series. I really love the Anne series, and I was doing an excellent job listening to audiobooks when we first started this whole quarantine thing, but that just kind of dwindled. So I typically listen to audiobooks when I'm like doing the dishes or vacuuming or like, you know, doing apartment chore kind of things. But since I've been playing so much Animal Crossing, I kind of like just having a break and having like quiet when I do those kinds of things. I tried to listen to some of the book while I was playing, but unfortunately I don't seem to be one of those people that can play video games and listen to an audiobook. I lose concentration on one of the two, and I didn't want to do that for either because I really love the series and I really love, at this point, Animal Crossing. So I wanted to have like my full attention on both of them at all times. So I will finish this audiobook in June. I'm really enjoying what I did read of it so far, but I didn't get too far into it. So after editing, I realized that I completely forgot to say that I actually also read Nightfall by Shannon Messenger, which is quite a big book. So I'm glad that I did read this during May too. This is the 6th book in the Keeper of the Lost City series, and I really loved it, just as I have loved all of the previous installments. I think this is an excellent addition to the series. I think there was so many things that were like touched upon in here that were so well done and so important for middle graders to read. This is a middle grade series. So I actually did read like an 800-page book that I just completely forgot to mention, and I had an email in front of me so that I would say everything that I needed to say, and I still managed to forget to mention this book. But also I wanted to say that part of the reason why I feel like I struggled with reading in May is not only my Animal Crossing addiction, that is like 100% my escape, but my mom unfortunately was in the hospital for like the majority of May, and now again in the beginning of June. I've been having a little bit of a tough time concentrating, but I'm hoping that I will be able to start reading as much as I used to again soon. Hopefully she'll get to go home tomorrow. And then lastly, I have The Dragon Reborn by Robert Jordan, which is the third book in the Wheel of Time series. So this one I'm about 100 pages into at the moment. I'm buddy reading it along with Jess from Stars Above Jess. She's been a great sport about me being a terrible buddy reader, but now I'm like finally getting into it so we can actually start talking about it, which is very exciting. So far, since I'm not that far into it, I can't really like give too much of an opinion on it, but the one thing that I can say is that I do feel like the prologue in this book was the weakest of the 3 books that I've read so far. However, afterward, it just got like really exciting off of the bat, and we started with a Perrin chapter, which I'm here for Perrin. I am really enjoying it. I love the Wheel of Time series. I am so glad that I have so many more books to go because I want to just know everything about these characters and like follow them forever. This one I'm definitely going to be finishing in June. I'm still actively reading it, and there's a good chance that I'll be pretty close to the ending by the end of May because the day that I'm filming it's the 28th, so I still have a couple of days of reading ahead of me. So since I read so few books this month, I didn't really want to do like the superlative kind of things that I do in my wrap-ups recently because there's only 4 books, so there's only, and I didn't even finish all of them, so there's only so much that I have to pull from here. I enjoyed what I read this month. I'm looking forward to having a better reading month in June. And now I'm going to talk to you more about the movies and TV shows and anime and games and stuff that I consumed this month, and then I'm going to end the video. See, it's 7-Eleven and they're still banging their pots and pans. I don't know if you can hear that. So I'm going to end this video with a bunch of like the fun stuff that I've purchased during the past month. So since quarantine started, I've been fortunate enough to be able to work from home, and so has Andrew. So when I've been able to, I've been trying to support some of the small businesses that I really love, and I've received a bunch of the merchandise that I have ordered, so I wanted to share some of my favorites with you guys. But I'm gonna start with movies. So I actually only watched one movie in the month of May, and it was Andrew and I continuing our Marvel rewatch. So we watched Iron Man 3, which takes place directly after the first Avengers movie. A lot of people have issue with Iron Man 3, but I personally love Iron Man 3. I don't know, since I saw it in theaters, it's been one of my favorites. I think part of the reason that I like it so much is because it's so heavily based on Matt Fraction's Invincible Iron Man run. And I know that a lot of people were kind of disappointed because they were like, Marvel kind of hyped it as like, we're doing the Extremis storyline. And then, yeah, there was a little bit of Extremis in there, but really it was Invincible Iron Man. It wasn't like super Extremis, which I think is Warren Ellis. So I think the humor is really good. I just love the relationship between Tony and Pepper, and I really like Tony's interactions with the kid that helps him, and I just think that it's so good. To me, it's a great movie, and it's one of the ones that I rank a lot higher than other people. So moving into television, I wanted to kick off the TV category with Clone Wars Season 7. Oh my god. So the finale of Clone Wars Season 7 was this month in May. I try to wait until I watch a full season to wrap anything up, so that's why I didn't talk about it in previous months, but we've been watching it week to week, like every Friday. I'm so excited to get home and watch the new episode of Clone Wars. Overall, I'm not going to give any spoilers, obviously, but overall, the first story arc, The Bad Batch, was not my favorite. I don't really care too much about the storylines with the clone troopers. The next story arc was Ahsoka's Walkabout, and I really enjoyed that. Ahsoka is my favorite character, so I am all for her getting like as much screen time as possible. And then the third and final story arc, which was like by far the best thing ever, was the Siege of Mandalore, and it explained everything that was happening, and it even got to the point where it was like crossing over with the prequel films. It was so good, like mind-blowingly good, and there were just so many little moments in that last season that like my heart, oh my gosh, it was wild. Like, it was a wild ride. It was absolutely fantastic. There were so many little details and little shots and stuff that just mean so much to me as someone that loves Star Wars so much and someone that loves Ahsoka so much. It was like everything that I wanted, and I know that I will be rewatching a lot of those for years to come, especially those last couple of episodes. They were just so exciting. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry like just thinking about it again. It was so good. Then Andrew and I watched season 8 of Vampire Diaries. So this was the final season of Vampire Diaries. I'm now officially done with the show. I didn't love season 8, I have to say. I was not super invested in the Siren storyline. It was definitely not my favorite, and after a big change occurred, I think the dynamic between the cast shifted, and while I still liked following my favorites, I just don't think it worked as well as the beginning seasons. Though I will say that I loved the series finale. I thought that that was a really excellent ending for everything, and I was very satisfied and very pleased, and I definitely cried during that. And now I'm really looking forward to watching the originals and what's the other one called? Is it Legacies maybe? I don't remember. But I'm looking forward to watching the 2 spin-off shows. Andrew, not so much. Then, in keeping with the whole vampire theme, we watched What We Do in the Shadows season 1, and we're now current on season 2 as well. I really love this series. I think it is so funny. It's those very old vampires, like old stereotypical kind of vampires, but there's just so much humor infused in the show, which obviously, because the creators behind it are awesome, but hilarious. I watched the documentary with Andrew long ago, can't remember when now, like really long time ago, and I liked it, but I don't think I liked it as much as other people. But the TV show, so good. Like, I think the jokes land super well, and there are so many quotable things from it, and just really funny misunderstandings because the vampires don't get current technology or like the modern world. So it ends up having a lot of very humorous situations, and we just like binged those so quick because we could not get enough. And now I'm like dying for a new episode. And there's been so many really great celebrity cameos as well. I'm looking forward to continuing on as they keep putting these out. And then finally, we decided to rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender because they just released Avatar on Netflix, so it was like the perfect time to jump in for a rewatch. And in May, during this time, we've just been craving kind of like comforting things, and I think that's where our Marvel movie rewatch also stemmed from. But Avatar is a series that both Andrew and I really love. He's actually the one that introduced me to it. I wasn't sold on it when he first tried to like show me, and then I watched a couple of episodes on my own and I was like, oh my god, you're right, this is great. And then we watched the rest of it, and now like I've read all of the comics and stuff because I love it that much, and the books, and I'm really looking forward to that next Kyoshi book which comes out next month. But so we binge watched season 1. We are just about done with season 2 right now, but I have absolutely no doubt that before May ends we will also finish season 3 because Avatar just goes so quickly. But I just have such a strong love for each and every single one of these characters. I think they're so well crafted, and they just, each of them has such an interesting and unique story arc, and there's a lot of twists and turns, and you just would never expect something so phenomenal from a Nickelodeon show for children. It's excellent, and the storytelling is just masterful. I love the lore of the avatars. I love, like I said, the characters, like just everything about it is so great, and all of the bending is just so cool. I love Prince Zuko. My favorite is Uncle Iroh. He is the best character. There's no question about that. He was my favorite during my first watch through, and he has remained my favorite thus far. We haven't actually gotten to my favorite episode yet. My favorite episode is in the 3rd season, and I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, in case you haven't watched it, but it's the play episode. So good. Then anime. So we actually haven't watched the full season just yet, but we've been watching Ascendance of a Bookworm. This is a really cute series about this girl who actually passes away, but then she's reincarnated in this little girl's body, and the little girl is pretty sick. It's never really explained what she has, but she'll oftentimes like come down with a fever or kind of pass out. But she still has all of her memories from when she was an adult and she was a librarian. So she has a really strong love of books, and she's been reincarnated into this body of this young girl who lives in a world where books are extremely rare, like only very rich people can afford them, and all she wants to do is read or like have a bookstore or something like that. But it's been a challenge for her because she's kind of needing to figure out how to create books on her own since they're not like readily available. You can't just go to a merchant and be like, I want a book. People will be like, what? Like there's a lot of people in this world who haven't even heard of books before. But her passion for reading and for creating books and for like just loving everything about books, from the whole like aesthetic and like the book making process, it's just really heartwarming, and I've been really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to watching more of it. We kind of put that on the back burner because, well, one, Avatar, and then two, we also tend to play Animal Crossing while watching TV, so you can't really read subtitles if you're also playing video games. Next thing is gaming. So before I get into some other stuff, we have been playing so much Codenames. So Andrew's sister Brittany gave this to me for Christmas, and Andrew and I had the version that's called Codenames Duet, so it's a 2-player game, and we've played together a bunch of times and it's really fun. We were lucky enough that Andrew's parents actually drove into New York City and picked us up one weekend and took us back to their place. So since they had also been safely quarantining, so it was just like the 4 of us and they drove us door to door. We didn't take public transportation or anything. We brought our game Codenames and we played this for hours over like a couple of days. It was so much fun. It was actually me and Andrew's mom versus Andrew and his dad, and we were pretty evenly matched. I think it's really funny like playing this game because obviously Andrew and I have a lot in common, but when it comes to Codenames, our minds work very different ways. So I was like, we should not be on the same team. It worked out. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm glad that I got to play the version that has more players, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing it again. Then I mentioned this game in my last wrap up too, but we've also just continued to play at least 1 to 2 games of Villainous every weekend. This is a Disney board game and it's a blast. Each time that you play, if you want to, you can be a different character, and then there's going to be a different set of rules. So it's pretty much like playing a new game every single time that you play. I have so much fun with it. There are some characters that are really frustrating and really hard to play as, and then other ones that I've really grown to like, but I think we have to play like 1 or 2 more games until we've played through all of the characters, and then we'll probably switch it up and start like Andrew will play the characters that I've played and I'll play some of the ones that he's played. We have the expansion packs for this too, and we really like it. We actually just got the 3rd expansion set, even more characters to try. Then moving right along into Animal Crossing, I have really loved this game. I think it's been so good for me because it's relaxing and fun, and the thing that I like most about playing Pokemon, which is like my favorite franchise ever, is that it's all about collecting all of the Pokemon, like gotta catch them all. And in this game, I feel very similarly because I'm just kind of doing my thing, harvesting my fruit, hitting my rocks, doing like my daily tasks, but then I'm also looking for certain recipes, trying to collect all of those, looking for materials so that I can build recipes. I also really like the social aspect of it. I think it's been really fun to, like, even though I can't go out and see friends, Alexa and I visit each other's islands every single day, and I have a handful of other friends that are playing too, so it's really nice to just be able to like visit one another in game at least, so it feels like we're doing something together. And I've met a whole bunch of new people too who really like Animal Crossing, and it's just been amazing. Like, it's been such a positive experience and such a nice little like corner of the internet that I found. I am so enjoying it, and a very kind soul just gave me the mushroom lamps, and now my Feywild area is complete, and I'm like, this was the best day ever. I'm so happy because I've wanted those for so long. I also got to visit a couple of islands where it's actually fall on their island now, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a field day during autumn when it's fall on my own island. I'm so looking forward to it, but wedding season is coming up in June, so that will also be fun. I think I said it in my June TBR, but I'm like 400 hours into this game, so this is where all of my time went in May. So that's all of the stuff that I've like consumed, and I'm just gonna show you a couple of the fun things that I purchased during this time that have arrived to highlight some of those small businesses that are likely struggling. So starting off, last month I showed you guys a mug that I got from Shop Azula, and I have gotten a bunch of other stuff from her since then. I really like her designs, but I got this cute little Pokemon pouch, so I've been using this for bullet journaling supplies for like the Stedler markers. So I've just been keeping those in here. I think this will be good. I mean, I have it right next to my bed, but for when I am able to go anywhere again, this will be handy to travel with. And then I got a second pouch as well. This is a Harry Potter pouch, and I really like this beautiful Hedwig zipper here. There's also like a fringe on the zipper, but this is by Kara Kozik, who designed all of those beautiful Harry Potter mugs for Owl Crate. She actually has an Etsy shop, and this was online in there, and I was like, that's beautiful, so picked that up. Then while I'm on the subject of Harry Potter, I have these 3 beautiful pins from Celestial Fox. So obviously I love Harry Potter very much, but I tend to like more pastels when it comes to the aesthetics. And she came out with this line of pastel Harry Potter enamel pins, and I was like, wow, these are like the pins of my dreams. So I have this Luna Lovegood bunny rabbit. I have the mirror of Erised, and it says it does not do to dwell in dreams and forget to live. And then I also have a little pink golden snitch. I think these are really beautiful. Then I got these very pretty sword earrings. They're actually Mulan sword earrings by Rock Love Jewelry. These were supposed to be released because of the film that was coming out, but that got delayed. But thankfully she didn't delay the jewelry line, so I'm very excited to add these to my ever-growing Rock Love collection. And just has such a beautiful box. Like, she does such a great job designing these, from the packaging to obviously the actual jewelry, and it's all just such great quality. Then I've really been liking Blissfully Bookish tees. So I got this shirt, which says "The Trees Speak Latin." It's a Raven Boy shirt. I love it. I think it's super beautiful. And I actually got another one from her too. It's a Hotel du Mort shirt, so it's a Shadow Hunter shirt, and that one's actually currently in the laundry, so that's why I can't hold it up here. But they're very comfy, very cute, and they've been really good for being home all the time. And then speaking of t-shirts, I also got this Battlestar Galactica t-shirt from The Colorful Geek. It says "So Say We All," which is a very well-known quote if you've watched Battlestar Galactica. That's one of my favorite TV shows ever. I love it so much. So I was very excited to get a t-shirt because I feel like there's a severe lack of Battlestar Galactica merchandise, and I am the market for it. Then I got these very cute Sailor Moon sweatpants from Hot Topic. They have all of the symbols of the inner senshi on the side here, and then it says Sailor Moon over there. They're very soft, very comfortable, and there's a matching sweatshirt that I ordered that hasn't arrived yet, but I love these. And I also got another pajama set. This is from Hot Topic. So they're My Neighbor Totoro pajamas. They're very cute. I like that it has all of like the leaves and stuff on it. That was the top, and then it came with a matching pair of pants. And these are also very comfortable and soft. And then the last thing that I'm gonna show is this pair of Luna Lovegood overalls. They're shorteralls, I guess they're called. These are from Her Universe, so they have the Luna pattern on them, and I'm really looking forward to being able to go out and wear these again. I think these are so cute and so fun. I'll probably wear this with like a bright pink pastel shirt since this is kind of a dark color. But so those are all of the things that I wanted to highlight here in this video. I hope that you guys are doing well and staying safe, and I hope that we'll be able to get back to normal in a way that will be good for everyone and not have another large spike of cases. That would be absolutely awful. I really liked last month when I asked you guys to let me know something good that's happened to you during the quarantine time, so I kind of want to do that again because it was uplifting to hear all of the nice things that you guys had to say about what was going on in your lives despite the chaos that we're all dealing with at the moment. But yeah, that's all that I have for this video, and I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!